wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guests we go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve 'em. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We dey discuss, we dey learn. Every episode you go feel the burn. The chat room. Now here we define the way. The chat room.
Oh yes.
We go talk and clear, no delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. The chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good morning to you, depending on what time it may be at your end. My name is LadyMary Boadu, and I'm here today with Nanaya Sarpong, the two hosts for the chat room. Tonight, I believe we are wrapping up our discussion on financing. And if you follow the sessions, it's been quite impactful and amazing. And as always, we hope that when you join us, you are actually taking something away with you. Today, we're looking at budgeting and living within our own means. Okay. So without wasting much time, I'll give the platform to Nanaya. Nanaya, please take over.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome once again. Today is the last.
The last session, 25th. Yep.
It is our last Sunday. Okay. Yeah. Next week is the 1st, February. Wow. Okay, so our last Sunday on this topic, I hope that, the previous sessions have been insightful. I know that we kind of ended up talking about the same thing. This whole month topic is supposed to be about financial education and managing your finances, to plan for the future. We didn't intend to have it all focus on or end up focusing everything on life insurance, even though that's a good aspect of financial management. We want to make sure that you are well-rounded in everything when it comes to your financial planning, and we're not just focusing on life insurance. So just to make that disclaimer, we're not endorsing any type of life insurance products. Do your research, find out which one works best for you, and go with that, But today, we just want to talk about budgeting and living within your means. Growing up, we're really not taught how to manage our finances. We tend to we have this idea that we work to spend. You
Yeah.
know, you work and then you pay your bills and you repeat the cycle every month, working and paying your bills, working and paying your bills. But what happens when you can't work anymore, right? What happens when that job is taken away or something happens to you and you can't work anymore? So you have to be able to save. You have to be able to have other um, means of finance to finance yourself when that situation happens. And that's when, the funny thing is, I was listening to a podcast, and the speaker was talking about how most things, and I would say probably like most people do not have like more than $2,000 saved,
Mhm.
more than $2,000 saved. So if something happened right now, like you don't have any means of like a fallback plan,
Well,
there's no fallback plan, which is, I can believe it, you know, I can believe it because most people live paycheck to paycheck.
hmm
As you know, a lot of times in our community, if somebody gets like a raise, right? Already they have plans for that money. They're like, oh, I'm getting maybe $10,000 raise, so I can get a new car. I can do this. I can do that. I can,
Yeah.
you plan. You've already planned other stuff for that money.
Yeah.
We don't think about putting that money away and hopefully having it grow. Having it, we have this mentality of if I'm making this amount, then I can afford this house, I can afford this car, I can afford to do this, I can afford to travel, to go on vacation, like we have this big life because we're making the money, right? We're here to plan for your future, to plan for your future. So, what does that look like for me? I've been listening to a lot of financial, because I want to set my, because again, this type of stuff is not really taught in school.
It's like in school. Yeah.
So it's just something that you learn in life. And
Like
I'm getting,
like you learn on the job, like you learn as you go along. Yeah.
yes, that's you face it, you learn. Um, so for me, I am personally I've taken my life into my own hands and doing everything that I can.
You're not.
Like
You're
I'm
not gonna
giving
wait. You're not
myself
gonna wait for manna to fall.
to, girl,
You're not waiting for manna.
like it's crazy how we are literally set up to fail. It's
Yeah.
like the whole
And
system is set up for our failure, right? The rich will keep getting richer because they have strategies in place.
strategies in place. Yes.
They have money in like investments, in realty, in real estate, in like all these ways that's like generating, their money is working for them, right? So they're not getting paycheck.
Right.
When
They
I work at
invest.
the bank, there's a lady that I became close to, and she used to, besides her job, she used to like trade on the side and sell different things. Okay. And she had like a few amount of like decent amount of money. And this was back in
Yeah.
2008,
Long time. Yeah.
2008, 2009, 10, around that time. Okay. And she easily had like different accounts with like 50,000 here, 50,000 there. But when I think about her now,
Yeah. You can only imagine.
oh, like,
Yeah.
what an error it was, because you know what she was doing?
Mm.
She was saving. but she was opening like CDs, which is certificate of
Right.
deposit in
Mhm.
banks. You know, she opens CDs and she'll get like maybe 2% here. She'll get 3% here. And as the year, as the CD renewed, she'll come and she'll renew it again. And she'll say, Nancy, do you have some, what can I get? You think if I talk to your manager, he'll give me more interest, he'll give me. And that time I was licensed to sell like investment accounts too. So, I mean, I tried everything. There was this account called annuity, okay? And what happens with annuity, you put money in, it's locked up. You can't access
You
it.
can touch
right?
it. Mhm.
You can't touch it. It's locked up for a certain amount of years, okay?
Yep.
But you had like, I think around that time, it was like maybe a 5% or 4% guaranteed, right? But
Yeah.
the good thing is it was tied to the market. So if the market went up, you got more.
Right.
If the
Okay.
market went down,
You
you
lost
couldn't go past
past
that
what you,
4
yeah.
or 5%, right? And I tried so hard because I knew that my, American customers, those who had the money, when I talked to them, they're like, yeah, because it's set up more of a retirement account. So when you retire,
Hmm.
if you take out the money, then you have to pay taxes on the interest, right? The interest that you've earned,
Mm.
right? Which most unless it's like a tax-free account, most investments, that's how they work. When you
Yeah.
take it out, you have to pay
You
taxes
have to
on the
pay
interest,
taxes.
right? But the good thing is, you know how the ladies were talking about compound interest. Instead of paying taxes on the interest as you earn it, it's in your account. So you're still earning interest on the money that you get paid taxes.
Yeah.
So that's how
Yeah.
compound interest work, okay? But since she couldn't come to the bank and like take the money out anytime that she wanted, right? And she had to wait for like maybe when she's 62 and a half
Locked in. Mhm.
to be able to like withdraw it without penalty. She didn't want to do it. Okay. And the sad thing is the recession happened and her money in the bank at that time, CDs were paying like 1%,
Yeah.
sometimes less than 1. While if she had done the account that I told her to do, she would have still been locked in at
Yeah.
4 or
You see,
5%.
right.
And her money would have never went below that.
Going down.
And when the market got better, her interest would have gotten higher.
Higher.
And by this time,
Mm.
if she put in one of her CDs that had 50,000, if she put in, I'm sure that it would would have doubled.
Yeah, it would have.
But she still, I saw her not too long ago. She was saying, I still have some money with the bank that you used to work with. I go in and I still ask for CDs. And I'm just like, this lady's still doing CDs. Lord have mercy.
But you see, Nana, as much as she may have made an error, right? With some of the investments or whatever it is she was doing. For our people, we don't even try. Let me say this. You were saying something earlier that, whenever we start making much more, we feel like that's when it's like our needs become the level of our needs increases, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, Nana, the richest people in the Western world, you and I could easily, other than knowing them on social media, and so maybe if we see them, we could identify that, oh, this person is like this person is Bill Gates and all that. If we didn't know them at all, literally, you would walk past them and not notice that this is how rich
They're not
this
flashy.
is.
They're not flashy.
But then I see, so that's why I am really starting to love this educational things that we're doing, because can we unlearn? Is that it? Like relearn? Let's relearn. Because let's say you are living in a home, and that's our life, sadly. Your mortgage right now is $1,500. You get an increase. Okay, maybe $5,000 increase. Okay, I think I can afford that $5,000 loan. And then you're just talking about compound house. Now, in this life, anything can happen, and even the process that it will take for you to get out your equity, your line of credit or whatever it is, it's a process. It's not something that when you try to take out these things, it is done within 24 hours. It's a process.
But that's still not your money. That's money you have to pay back.
That's what I'm saying. So some people would say, oh, I'm building equity in my home. Yes. But the money that you would be able to have
should not be your emergency money.
No, but I'm saying there are people that depend on that. Oh, I'm buying these houses because, I'm building equity and blah, 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 and all of that. But that our thing says budgeting and living within our means. My husband and I was just talking, and he's like, listen, no, none of these children would have any type of toys in this house again. Because looking at all of their ages right now, if Phoebe can use, she has too many toys from her siblings that she can use, and so sometimes we are compelled that, oh, I need to buy this, I need to buy that. Do we really need that? That's why I said last week that, Nana, sometimes you would look in your closet and literally the folded clothes are looking at you, staring at you.
That's why I told you to stop talking about me.
The shoes. So fine, you may be in the place where you can afford all these things, but we need to start thinking for tomorrow and not for today. Okay? I want to buy these red buttons. Do I need it? So right now, that's where I'm at. Is it a necessity? Do I need it? If I don't get this, am I going to drop? God forbid. No, I'm not. So I think I was having a conversation with someone, and she said, interestingly, social media right now is built to where, Nana, you can literally talk about Dunkin' Donuts, and we're off here. Once we're off here, you will see Dunkin' Donuts and all these sweets pop in the cookie thing.
On your timeline.
Yes,
you say something, next thing you know, you turn on your phone and it's on your timeline.
Yes. Or you go past the mall, go past McDonald's, and all these things are running on your timeline. So that is where we have to have that control of ourselves and say, listen, I'm not going to buy this. Yes, I see it. It smells good and all of that, but I'm not going to delve into it. Because, Nana, all of these things right now, even people that we said the last time, there are people living in apartments and driving all these Teslas and all these big cars. If you can afford it and if you want to, hey, kudos to you. But we're speaking to people, some of us that I think I said last week that I sat down and I was like, wow, all these years I could have done something with the little taxes that I was filing and getting. I would have done, but we didn't. But that's because we didn't know. We didn't have, the education was not there. And back then, social media was not even as known as things are now. Nana, do you think that if we knew what we know now, if we knew then, I think we would have made better choices?
We would have. But one thing that I'm getting my mind to understand is that it's not too late.
It's not too late. Nope. It's never too late.
It's not too late. We can start now, no matter how old you are. As long as you have strength, you have breath, you can start now and saving for the future, for your future.
And then start teaching our children.
Number one, let's be solution oriented.
Yeah.
Number one, set a goal. Set your financial goal. What do you want your future life to look like? Do you want to still be able to afford the things that you have now? And if that's what your goal is, what would it take for you to, when you are retired? Because nobody should be working forever unless, sometimes, you like your job, you love what you do, and you don't want to retire. That's your business. That's fine. But nobody should be forced to not be able to retire. Because for me, unless it's my own business and I'm working at it for the rest of my life because I know that it's my own and I'm trying to transfer it to my children, I will not be working for somebody for the rest of my life.
You can't.
I will not be doing it. So you set your financial goal. What do you want to achieve? Okay. Then once you know what you want and what it would take for you to have that lifestyle, then that's when the budgeting come in.
Mm-hmm.
Budget, expense versus revenue. Your revenue is what's coming in. Your money that's coming in. Write down all of your expenses. If you have mortgage, if you have rent, your utilities, your car notes, your groceries, your entertainment, everything that you spend money on, every single little thing that you spend money on, make sure to write it down. Monthly, how much is it costing you to live the life that you're living now? If you get to the point where you see that expense is equal to what's coming in, or
over. No, sometimes it's even over.
Expense is over what's coming in, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Then there's a problem. So then you go over that list of expenses and you start crossing out what you don't need.
Someone says, I think we're gonna have to start incorporating fasting a lot in our dailies, because food is gradually getting expensive, and so definitely we are going over our budget.
You do not have to stop eating to be able to afford your life. I'm sure food is not what is making you not be able to save, unless you're the kind of person that eats out all the time, or most of the time. But look at those things as those subscriptions that you're not even home to watch.
Yeah.
Your children at school, they're not even home to watch.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Somebody said that if you don't have savings, then you cannot afford a Netflix subscription.
Subscription, yeah.
If you don't have the savings right now, meaning if you don't have money that in case of an emergency, you have to, you can use to fix whatever emergency it is, you cannot afford a Netflix subscription right now.
You cannot afford Uber Eat every day.
And it's not because Netflix is expensive or anything, but it's because you don't have time to sit and watch Netflix. That time that you should be sitting to watch Netflix, you should be working. You should be planning something to bring money in. So it's not about the Netflix, it's about the time that you're spending to watch it.
Yeah.
How much time are you spending on social media?
Scrolling. What is it? Is it doom scroll? Yeah.
So if your expense is more than what's coming in, that means you have to rethink. You have to restructure. Maybe you need another job. Maybe you need to, something that can bring in money. Like when I tell you, I go that. Listen, I said I need to stop watching all this podcast because I'm starting to feel somewhere by myself. Like, what am I doing with my life? People are out here making money, okay? Making money, passive income, meaning when they're sleeping, their money is making money for them. Yeah. When they're sleeping, something that they are selling, it's making money for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are we doing? There's things that we can do. There's things that we can do. Real estate, well, not everybody can really invest. That's more of a, next level thing. So just keeping it here, keeping it on the regular average level.
Nana, I find one thing too, and I think I said a little bit about it last week. I find that our people, also when we came, I'm not talking about our age group, but like our moms, our aunties and things like that. When they came, how do I say this? I'm not trying to sound offensive, but it's the reality. So let's say, for example, okay, let me bring it this way. Maybe it'll make sense. We have people that have this mentality that when I came to America, I suffered before I was able to acquire the things that I've acquired. So when my sister's daughter, who my niece or who my sister comes to stay with me, I want them to also go through the process of suffering, the same sufferings. Nana, trust me. Yeah. To get whatever it is they want.
You know what? I think it's because they feel like if they suffer, then they will
understand. They would understand. Yeah, it's more like you would understand that, okay, it's hard living in this country and all of that. But I think that that idea should change. The reason why I say that, Nana, with this few conferences that I've gone within the past month, the different certification, and I'm not talking about IT, Nana, things that, I mean, our aunties, I mean, come on, they go to work, they speak English, they talk to the people around them. They go for these job interviews. We don't go to it for them. They go themselves. So simple certifications, Nana, 2 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 months, 6 months, and you will get a certification. So you don't have to work 12 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours nonstop. So we don't have any work-life balance, Nana. So I'm saying this to say that if some of us, or back then, if they had access to all this information, I don't think that they would have been in, some of the situations to where we are not even able to save. And then on top of it, the family back home is constantly demanding. That's one thing I want us to talk about. Because if you can't give it to your children within your home, they should come first.
You shouldn't be sending it out.
Thank you. So I think that now is the time for us to really start educating. And there are so many high schoolers that, as they are getting ready to graduate, trust me, they don't even know what they want to do. They don't know. They don't know if they want to go to
graduating with even the college. People are going to college, getting a degree, and they don't
and
even
then
know
they come
what
out and they regret. Yes. So I'm saying to myself, if I knew, Nana, after over 26 years of being in this country, the things that I'm finding now with this past few months, I'm like, it's mind blowing. And I'm asking myself, how did we not have access to this? And imagine I went through high school and everything here, and I didn't know. So this is an opportunity for us to start educating people, the people within our church, their mothers, so that, Nana, my sole purpose for this thing right now that I want to do is, not everybody goes through college successfully. And 4-year, 8-year, 6-year college is not for everybody. But
you don't need it to be successful.
Thank you. So while at it, our children can start. So I'm saying our children because if we made the mistakes, if our mothers made the mistakes, the aunties, can we start from somewhere to where the next generation is not going to live in that? It's not going to be a repetition of itself to where we can't even save for ourselves.
You know what I told Princess while she's working? I said, and I need to still touch base with her. I said, since you have a job now, we open a bank account, and the place that we open a bank account has investment services. What we're going to do self-investment. You have no bills. Let me say you have no bills.
No bills.
The money that's coming in, automatically set up an account where that will transfer in a percentage or a specific amount. They transfer in. I'll help you set up that investment account. When the money comes into that account, move it. I will show you with the little knowledge that I have. And again, now information is plenty. Go online. With the little knowledge that I have, I'll help you. We will choose some investment accounts that is not too risky. And even she's young.
She has her whole life ahead of her. So,
so she can do risk.
That's a very good place to start.
Transfer. Forget about it. It's not there. It's not yours. The rest of it, knock yourself out. Whatever you want to do, you want to go eat out with your girls, go. You want to go here on a trip, go. But that money, forget that it's there. It's not even yours. It's not. You didn't even make that money. Let it go. I said,
We
by
have
the
to
time
do
you're
to
my
change the
age,
narratives.
if
Yes.
you're transferring paycheck, if
Yep.
you're transferring $200 into that investment account, by the time you're my age,
Yep.
20, 30 years
You'll be
later,
Mhm.
you will be
You'll
easily
be
a
good.
millionaire.
Yep, you'll be good.
Easily.
Yeah. So
Easily.
we need to really start educating and the things that we've missed. That's what I always tell you. As I said, things that I made, the mistakes that I've made. I don't want you to repeat it. That is why I'm here. I've made that mistakes. Let's try to rethink these things and fix it and do things right. And so I think that is also part of, because Nana, honestly, I'm sorry, look at my mom's age. I like if
All of our parents, my mom is still working.
she's working, and tell
Lord have
me,
mercy.
we're talking about life insurance and things like that. I mean, they can't even afford all of those things right now. You get it? So then at least they didn't know any better to even teach us. To your point with what you're doing with Princess, now we know. So we've gone through it. Let's try to change the narrative.
Yeah, because if I had that, and like I said, I worked at the bank.
Yeah,
I worked at a bank, but the only thing that really how to make the money. They're not thinking about how to make yourself rich.
Yep.
Thinking about how to make them rich, you know. So if you don't use common sense and kind of find some of these stuff for yourself and start, like, you know, saving and looking at doing some of these investments for yourself, then
you're on your own.
You know, there's a guy that I listen to. That's like financial podcast, and he was talking about how he became like who he is now, right? Because he has a business, he's well to do, and he was talking about how like it took him a long time to even like change his car. Like people knew that he was a millionaire, and he was still driving like some beat up car because he was like, it still works. Why do I need to like replace it?
Of course.
It works. I don't have a car note. It takes me to work. It brings me back, you know. Why do I need to replace it? He said literally his the house that his complex, you know, literally put a note on his car one time and said, please, if this car does not work anymore, we will you know, for the beautification of the community, we would like for you to, you know, like take it to the junkyard or take it somewhere else just for the beautification of the community. He was like, what are you talking about? This car works. It works. You know, it took him a long time to even bring his mind to
that. Yeah.
Not that he couldn't afford it. He could afford it, but it worked. And
yeah,
like,
but he was thinking about his money rather than spending.
Making money.
Yeah.
You know, that's the mentality of those people. But for us, as soon as it comes in, we're getting raised. Oh, we're getting a raise. What can we afford? What can we buy?
And listen, if you are listening or if you are watching, we are not saying don't do anything for yourself.
That's
but
not the point.
What we are saying is prioritize your needs and your because there are certain things we just want them. We just want. That's why I said that. Is it a necessity? Like, is it a must have? If you don't have it, you're going to, you know, you're not going to survive. Please.
So when I, before we moved, right? Before we moved, where we used to live, I used to need about 10 minutes to work. So a few years back, I was like, oh, well, my car is kind of old. And when I bought my car, when I bought my first car, when I graduated from college and I got my first job. Okay. So guess what? Your girl has a job. So what is she gonna do? Again, no bills. I'm living with my parents. I don't have any substantial bills. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get my car that I want. My dad said, what kind of car do you want? I told him what I want. I want a 4Runner. It's just me by myself. But I want an SUV. For what? For what? literally, when we got to the dealer, I went to Toyota proper, okay? Not even like to a used car. I said, I want a new one. I don't want any mileage on it. When I got that car, it had 5 miles. 5 miles from the lot, from the truck to the lot. That's the only mileage it has on there. It had on there, okay? I thought if it wasn't my dad convincing me that I didn't need all that, I wanted fully loaded, add everything, whatever. Okay, that's what my dad's like, you need all that. So I ended up getting the standard, okay? But it was just, it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary because right when I left the lot, that depreciated.
Yeah.
If I got into an accident right when I left the lot, I would be owing the dealership because insurance was not going to pay the whole amount that I financed.
Yeah.
Because right when I left, the value was less. But I wanted a new car. Was it necessary? No. I think my payments were like probably like 500 because at that time interest rates were high, and I was like fresh out of college. I didn't really have like credit, so of course I'm gonna get a high interest rate. But I'm like, it's okay. I'm making this much. I'm making this much per paycheck. I can afford that.
Yeah.
I could have saved it.
It wasn't necessary. Yeah.
It was not necessary.
You could have invested that 500.
Nobody around me told me that you didn't need that car. With the exception of my dad saying I didn't need it fully loaded. Mm-hmm. Everybody was on board. If you can afford it, buy it.
Go for it. Yeah.
I could have saved a lot just probably buying the same car from a used, car dealer and saving probably half of it and investing half of that money. But I didn't know. What we don't know, fine, let it be. But we know better now.
Lack of knowledge.
Yeah. My food perished. Yeah. We know better now. So what are we doing moving forward?
Yeah.
Right? All that unnecessary. You do not need a brand new, like, for as long as I live, maybe, hey, let me not even say that because maybe I'll get to the level where I'm like, money is nothing. It's like, water. I have so much of it that I can probably have them custom any car that I want. Right? But with what I know now,
exactly. Knowing what we know,
I will not walk into a dealership and buy a brand new car.
Exactly.
I would not, because it won't make sense. I can find that same car at a used car place.
Yeah.
And yes, what if it has some mileage on it?
Who cares? Yeah.
Right? Who cares? And then I can save. If, again, I knew what I knew now, the car I drive now, I wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
Because when I bought it, I was driving literally 10 minutes to work. So to me, I was like, oh, it's okay. But then after I had the car and where I work now, I have to drive in traffic over an hour. It makes no sense for me to be driving that car in traffic for an hour, buying premium gas and all that. It irritates my soul to be doing that. But I'm stuck with it.
You're stuck with it, yeah.
I made the decision to get it, right? So I'm stuck with it. But if I was to do it again, I would not, because it's not necessary. I don't need that car. I could have bought another car with like standard gas and probably done the same thing that I needed. So just look at your life before you make any type of purchase. Look at your life. Somebody said that if you can afford something in cash 3 times, like if, for example, if you're buying a phone and you can afford to buy that phone with cash and like have 3 more of that amount, So let's say if the phone is like $500, right? If you don't have 1,500, if you don't have 1,500, you cannot afford that $500 phone. Let's think about it like that. There's some things that we're wasting so much money on that we do not need. So budget. Cut out all those extras that you don't need. Save it up. The first thing that I would say, save up. Make sure that you have an emergency savings. Meaning, if your car broke down today, you'll be able to pay cash and not put it on a credit card. If you put it on a credit card, you'll be able to pay it off at the end of the month. So you're not getting interest on it.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by emergency fund. Have an emergency fund. So calculate your lifestyle and see how much it costs you each month to have the life that you have, and save 3 times that amount. 3 months. So for example, if you're hurt and you can't work and nothing is coming in, at least you're covered 3 months. Right? You're covered 3 months.
Yeah.
After you have that type of savings, then you go into looking out. Talk to people, talk to your bankers.
Invest.
They can set up investment accounts for you.
Yeah.
An account for you that you can literally $100 per paycheck, $200 per paycheck, $300 per paycheck. You know, put it in there. Let it go in there. Forget that that's there. I learned that the S&P 500, based on historical statistics, pays at least, even considering recessions and those type of things, pays at least 10%. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just information from me learning and researching. So nobody goes to say, Nancy said we should invest here. This is just an example that I'm giving, okay? So 10%. So that means that if you have, let's say, $1,000 in it by the end of the year, you can possibly get about $100 more in interest. Okay. And that's like a well-rounded investment account that doesn't really like take a lot. You just set it up and transfer the money in there on a whatever, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, whatever basis, and just let it sit there. Again, if you are someone that has a banking relationship, go in, talk to those investment specialists. They're there anyways. You might as well use them and get some information from them, you know. And once you are set, there's different ones. Again, I don't want to like, you know, give.
You just go in and then just speak to them and let them know what your intentions are. Just talk to them.
You know, sometimes when they are doing it on a one-on-one, if they're doing it for you, they will charge a fee. Make sure that you know it's not free. If they are doing it for you, it's not free. Make sure you know how much they're charging and take that into consideration.
Yeah.
You know, if you have a family member that has a little bit of knowledge, they can help you set those up. You know, if you're able to get like one investment account, 2, 3, diversified profile, portfolio here and there, and a little bit from here and there is going in, and you forget about it, let it be there. If you work for the employer that offers a 401k and offers a match, whatever it is, sometimes it's like if you contribute 4%, they'll match you at 4%. If you contribute 3%, they'll match you at 3%. Do those. But don't let that be the only type of investment you have. That will not be enough to sustain, you know.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I was going to say that I know that, so there are people that may be watching from all over the place. And so even if you don't have access to these 401ks or the IULs and the things we were talking about here, there are definitely other ways that you can budget, like she said, list out your expenses versus how much your income is, how much you're bringing in, and then see how much you're spending. There are those of us in some part of Africa and are literally that they don't have the money, but they will clear their entire bank accounts to buy iPhone. I should mention iPhones and all these newly updated phones. Listen, you don't need it. If your current phone right now is working, I'm telling you, save that money. Even if somebody gave you or dashed you that money to say, get this phone, think twice. There are those of us that don't have jobs, but we are holding the latest iPhones. It does not make any sense. I would, knowing what I know now, would take that money and invest it, or even use it as a starter for a business. Okay? You have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. So someone just giving, it can be as maybe you're someone that people often give you money. But even in that, you can budget and try to save for tomorrow. Because I always say that people will not always be there to be dashing you money every day. Okay? So we want to be smart about how we are spending money. Whether you're working for it or people are giving it to you. You want to make sure that you're smart about
money out. I need those friends.
I'm just saying.
If they're like people out there giving.
Let me say, for instance, those of us that are here, and that's why I mentioned that if you're here and you're sending back home money to your family, friends, and cousins, and everybody else that calls, but then your children within your home are suffering, then you are missing it. So let's say you're in Africa and your auntie, your cousins, whatever, sends you money. That's part of dashing, Nana. You need to learn to budget. Save some of that money, because there are those that have the tendency to say, oh, my auntie is in abroad, my dad is in abroad. Those every month they're sending it to me.
They'll send me, I'll go spend.
Yes, so they are not budgeting. Does it make sense now? Yes. So even in that, don't waste those money thinking, oh, my dad is gonna my dad or my auntie would bring it every month. And so it's fair enough to just continue to use it. Start saving. Because it's only a matter of time where, God forbid, they're going to lose their job. Someone is going to get sick. Something is going to happen. Maybe their expense would probably increase. Okay. And they may not be able to afford the monthly allowances or whatever it is they give you. So then what happened? Then it becomes, oh, my auntie is me, my uncle is me, my father, they want to be of help and all that. What happened to the money that they've given to you for 5 years, 3 years, 2 years? What happened? So I just wanted to throw that in there for the sake of those that would say, oh, we're not even familiar with these, these investment options that they're naming.
Yeah.
But Nana, let's just say, for everyone that tuned in, thank you so much for tuning in today. Today is the 25th of January, and we are wrapping up our conversation. If it's your first time joining us, this is the chat room, a platform dedicated to resolving daily life issues. Is educational, informative. Everything we share here, it's to benefit myself, Nanaya, our families, and the community. So if you're joining us for the first time, you're more than welcome. You can do well to follow us on all social media platforms, so that every time we go live, you would be able to have access to our various discussions or conversations here. Next month, we are looking at heart health. And so we want you to join us. This sessions happens every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and so, or 4 p.m. New York time. And so wherever it is you're watching from, you can just look at your time and see if it permits. Then do well to join us. Nanea, it's 4:55, but go ahead.
Okay. So basically, just to kind of recap what we're talking about, we're saying if it's never too late. It's never too late to start working on your finances and planning for your future, because there's so many people out there that have to continue working even past retirement age because they can't afford their lifestyle if they don't continue to work, right? So you think about how much it's going to cost you to live the lifestyle that you are living currently. That's if what you desire, and plan towards that for retirement. So if right now your lifestyle costs you $10,000 a month, are you going to be able to afford that $10,000 a month when you retire? If you can't, then look at your finances. See where you can cut down now to save for the future. Savings account is for money that you can access easily in case of an emergency. If your car breaks down, you go there, you take money out. If there's a renovation needed for your house, that's the money that you use. So calculate how much you will need, estimate it, and plan for that in your savings account. Once you have that money, then anything else that comes in your hands, anything extra, you move it into an investment account. Speak to your bank. Speak to your investment representatives at your bank. They will help you. They have fees if you cannot afford that. Find ways that you can invest yourself. It's really not difficult. It's not. There are investment accounts that you can, I think they call them EFTs, that you can literally electronically transfer money in there. Low risk, high risk. Determine what type of risk you want to take and invest for your future. One thing also is being able to transfer your inheritance. Even the Bible says that, a white man leaves inheritance. If we had inheritance from our parents, you would be here.
Where is it at? Asokori or Jasu, or is it in Virginia?
Girl,
That I don't know of.
they're looking to me. Talk about passing on something. So if you know better, you do better.
You do better, yeah.
Let's do better and leave an inheritance. So that goes into those life insurance that the ladies were talking about, few
weeks ago. Yeah.
Weeks ago. Research. We're not saying that those, what is it called, universal life that they were talking about last week, that works for you. We're saying that ask questions,
before
evaluate your needs, and find out what works for you.
Yeah.
You know that once somebody passes, right? One of the ladies were talking about it, I think 2 weeks ago. She said something about probate court, but she didn't really go into details about that. So what that is when somebody passes away, all of your estates, right, goes through probate. If you don't have your trust set up where some of those inheritance goes directly to your family, everything will go through probate.
It will go through probate.
And anybody that you owe will be paid before your family receives your inheritance.
Yep.
So that means that if you owe mortgage, the mortgage people are coming to get theirs. If you owe some tax collector, whatever, they're coming to get theirs. But if you plan your estates, if you speak to an attorney and you put things in place, there's something called irrevocable trust. If you set up an irrevocable trust, any inheritance that you put in that document avoids probate. It avoids probate and it goes directly.
Now there are even organizations that, for those in the US, that actually does that for free. You don't have to have an attorney. That there are organizations that actually help people to get that. So
to set up trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like prepare wills and your will and all of those things.
And that's one thing. Will, please set up your will. It doesn't mean that you're dying. You're gonna die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Having a will does not speed up your life. Your lifespan.
Lifespan.
not. Please have a will, because the confusion. Y'all don't want to be in Lumber situation. Have a will where you want your things. Oh, and one thing also, have beneficiaries attached to all of your accounts.
Yeah.
Put your children's down. If you have life insurance, if you have checking account, savings account, any type of account that you have, I don't care if you're 12 years old today, have a beneficiary.
Yeah, it's very important.
So if something happens to you, the money will go directly to them.
Yeah.
All these things, little things that we need to put in place, please. Make sure that you're putting those things in place, because once, something happens, then it eases the burden to your survivors, because it's too much for people to be going through grief,
it could be a lot.
and then have to deal with that things because you didn't really prepare.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Whew. Anyways, on that note, guys, we are going to bring our session to an end, but we want to re-emphasize that if you have children in the home that have toys, the hand-me-downs, trust me, we did it, we used them, it did not kill us. So please, some of these toys are very expensive. You have to ask yourself. Another topic that maybe we want to come back and talk about, Nanaya, we invest in more toys than educational gadgets for our children. Unnecessary toys, Barbies, this and all of that, rather than, so that'll be another topic on its own. But please, all of that is included in the budgeting. Do your children really need these toys? Do they need the extra clothes and the extra shoes? And as parents, do you really need that extra cloth that the organization or the MECU or the women's ministry, the fashion thing that do you need it? Someone might say is not, but there are people that's it literally every time there's something ongoing, they're getting new cloth. So all of that, you might think that you don't have money, but truly when you sit back and do all of that calculation within the year, you realize that you could have saved.
But you know what people are depending on? Talking about these organizations and stuff. We're not saving. We're not putting money aside. But what we're doing is faithfully each week, we're paying $50, $100 to someone that mother passed away, because that's our investment. That's the investment. So
those Nana can happen in a day. You can literally go to like 5 or 4 events. Anyway,
you're telling me. I know them. I know that.
We're not saying don't be generous. That's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is,
why is it that you don't have the savings, but every single week you're going to somebody's event to contribute something?
And those of us that every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we are in drive-thrus for fast foods. All of these things, honestly, buying food outside right now has become super expensive. So please, we're just saying, I eat outside once a while. Okay. When I'm having that cravings, I'll go for it. But now I am learning to really decide between my want, the bad cravings, and really the need. Like, is it a necessity? Does my life depend on this? If it's not, nope, I'm not doing it. Because that now I'm learning that there's a better way that I can invest my money, than to do that. That's all we are saying. And we are all learning. So please, family, please.
We are. And I'm like, some of these things, Lord help me, I wish I knew.
Yeah, we didn't know. But
I would have been at a different spot
right now. True.
But again, it's not too late.
True. All right, family. Thank you so much. If you join, please share if you like the discussion or if you believe that it'll be impactful to someone that you know. Feel free to share. We'll see you guys all back here on Saturday. All right. I mean on Sunday. First, right? First. Okay, on the first Sunday. All right, family. Thank you so much. Nana, do you have anything else or you're done?
That's all.
All right, and everyone have a good night. Stay safe. We have the storm here, and all the cars are covered outside. So
we do too. It's been icing since morning.
Oh, okay.
Icing, like
So
straight
please
ice.
stay safe, guys. If you don't have to go out, don't go out. All right,
Stay
then
warm.
have a good
All right.
night.
Bye.
Yo, yo, yo. Now your matter with the talk. Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guests we go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve 'em. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We dey discuss, we dey learn. Every episode you go feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room.
Oh, yes.
We go talk and clear, no delay. No delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie.